we were good in our timing because probably the Marina would have break down one day soon. Anyhow, look who is here.
What's up?
Then they get in an argument. No, you have to do it like this. No, you have to do it like this. What a bumper clutch, you have to do it like that, you know. You're talking too. You want to tell the story? Yes?
Say yes, Grandma. I know.
You want to tell the story? You know the story? It will make the zinc rotten.
Oh,
you
yeah,
know,
because the water settles. Yeah,
exactly.
Hey my lovelies, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Mel and we are here with mommy. So as usual, it's story time with mommy. In the last story time, your girl was born. I have officially arrived in the story time, but this story time still not gonna be about me. Cause you know,
not really, no.
Yeah, I'm just, you know, I'm just a little baby. I'm not doing much antics yet. So, you know, in the future, maybe there will be some stories. I don't even know what kind of stories mommy has about me, but just so you know, this. I mean, in between there will be stories that don't involve me. So no fretting or anything. There will be in the future, but for now, mommy is just going to continue on her timeline. Because you know we did everything in a timeline. And yeah, the next thing she has to talk about is
the reconstruction of the Marina.
Yes.
Disclaimer: the stories that I'm going to tell in this series are my experience, my truth, and my point of view over the past 38 years that I have been in Jamaica, and it's in no way intended to slander any person, the culture of Jamaica, or the island as a whole. Hi Mel's Lovelies, back again, fresh and bright, back in Jamaica as well. And I'll let you know from now, this will not be a very long story time because that topic only has so much to give, basically. But a little after Melody was born, as I mentioned before, the Marina part, restaurant part, with the thatch roof and everything, was kind of getting very fragile. We had this wooden flooring, and although the planks were pretty thick, like this thick, but a lot of them started to rotten in places. And actually, a thatch roof is a very work-intensive roof, because all the years before we had the Marina, every year I had to call somebody to come in and put in fresh thatch in places, because it started to leak through the roof. And so every year I had to spend quite a bit of money just to get that roof tight again. I mean, I love thatch roofs, and I know there is a way to do it, which ours wasn't done that way. That was probably the problem. Normally they braid them, and then they put them, you see the braids underneath and the thatch is on top, and those roofs will keep you much longer, but they are very expensive. So we had another system where they were practically only spread out, and we had the round thatch too, not the coconut leaves. And so that was very, very labor and money intensive. And then of course, once it dripped through, the boards started to rotten and stuff like that. That building had been on there, I don't know how many years, but a lot of years. So we kind of decided to take this huge step and pull down the entire thing, I mean entirely, and rebuild it with fresh and strong material. And once again, my mommy helped out and helped me get a loan in Germany, because in Jamaica taking a loan would be way too expensive. And she had some housing trust kind of not insurance, saving. So she agreed to do that, get the loan, and the loan was it was less than 20,000 US dollar.
Okay.
So can you imagine to build something completely fresh and new with not even 20,000 US? So our budget was very, very tight. Look who is here.
What's up?
So when the money finally was released and stuff, so we had inquired from before about material costs, and we had to find people to, of course, to do the work and the labor, because you can't do that by yourself. And we found some, actually that is one point in time where Drew really did help out and do a very good job, because he asked me if he could kind of supervise the whole building stuff, and seeing that he knew mason work and was a person who knew how to build stuff, I said yes, of course. I mean, hey, I have a small baby, I don't basically want to be involved. She was about that age at the time. So he then kind of really started to organize the people, and we looked for prices and compared prices, so we get the best amount of whatever we needed. And then once the money reached, we could start. So first, pull down the entire thing. My goodness. I mean, all that bamboo, I mean, I'm still amazed today. That bamboo that we took down, you saw it on the photo, I guess. Does it come? Yeah. Okay, see the whole side wall there is made from bamboo. And those bamboos were still intact. They were still good. I mean, you would think after all these years that they would be wormy or whole or would start to crumble.
Especially
nothing like that.
So close to salt water.
Exactly. So I was so amazed to see how sturdy they still were, but nonetheless we needed fresh bamboo, of course, because we didn't want to reuse what we had. So just the pulling down, and then the amount of material that came up. You know, I don't even know how we got rid of it, to be honest. Part of it, we had a big shed in front of the marina. The part of it was stored there, and then the rest, I think the bamboo, we burned it. And well, and the whole lumber that was on the ground, on the floor, came off. And then we saw the if you can see, look again, you might see the underneath here, the things that come out of the water were concrete. As it turned out, no, after we pulled on everything, all the tops of those concrete piles were rotten. I mean, basically, we were good in our timing, because probably the marina would have break down one day soon. Anyhow,
if floor just broke through, everybody jumping.
Seriously. So that was the first job we had to do. And the people all came in, and everybody started to frame up pile them around and put a frame in the middle, and frames crossways with wood, and then they were cast with concrete, which of course took a while. And I mean, one nice thing I always liked, we had one person throughout the whole process that was responsible to cook for everybody. So he would go shopping in the morning, buy whatever style the whole morning would use to to cook two huge pot. We would have them outside. We had fire outside. Was the cheapest way to do it, and get the big pots on the fire. And he would just cook the rice and whatever else, ground food and chicken and curry chicken and whatever else was available that day. And everybody at lunchtime would gather and eat together and laugh and sing, and music was playing, and then they were planning how to go on from there in the afternoon. You're talking too. You want to tell the story? Yes?
Say yes, Grandma. I know.
You want to tell the story? You know the story? Where were you when that story happened? So that was always a part of the day that was really lovely. I mean, of course, everybody would do their spliff, you know. I mean, nobody was working without a spliff in their mouth, you know. So this casting alone took a good while to finish because, of course, in between the concrete had to dry and stuff. So I think it took about over a week to do, and then the drying process. But in the meantime, they would get some material and prepare the material and get the bamboo and prepare the bamboo. So after the concrete dried, we could start to lay down the floor again. We chose basically the same design that the old Marina did have. Like the first, when you came in at first, you would have a little office part. Behind it to the other side was a storeroom. Then there was a little walkway. Then the kitchen part would start with the bar right adjacent to it, and then the rest would be the open restaurant part.
Yeah.
So basically they had to build 2 rooms in the back, 1 big kitchen and the bar. Which the bar was basically open as well. So for the bar counter and stuff, of course we needed a carpenter because he needed to build it accordingly. The kitchen was mainly, we only had the stove and the fridge, and oh yeah, we did have some counters in there, of course, to work on. And we put in some cupboards as well. But in Jamaica, it's better to have everything open. You know, you do not really want closed cupboards because, you know, things, especially when you're right over the sea. Because all of that building was right on the sea. So you do not want anything too close.
So the open bar part.
That was the open bar part.
But this was still the
that
old.
Was the, but the design.
Focus.
Yeah, the design would be almost the same.
Yeah, didn't from the layout basically.
The layout was the exact same because it had. Whoops.
Okay.
it had proven to be very versatile and practical.
Yeah.
So why change it, you know?
So the layout was still the same.
Yeah.
And then to the front, to the sea, to the sea, it was just an open space with, you know, seating area and stuff like that. But I'll insert pictures throughout the story time, so no worries.
Alright. So, basically then, little by little, everything was erected and put up, and I honestly had not much to do with the whole process. I would go and look and see, and I would pay out the people on weekends, do the payroll and stuff. But basically, I had the other 4 children now to take care of and stuff. I was not really that involved in the process. And honestly, I can't even tell you how long we all in all took to build it, but I think it was about 2 months. And which we couldn't keep closed any much longer neither because remember, no income. Because at the time we were building there, we couldn't even have any boats in the marina because things would splash in the water and drop down, and I couldn't have boats in there. So I had no income throughout that time. So of that little bit of it, not even 20,000 US, we had to live off it as well.
Yeah.
So we, of course, had to see that we could reopen as fast as possible. And I have to say, everybody there did a tremendous job. They worked good. There were some quarrels sometime, and I think 1 or 2 times they started to fight even, you know how people are when they are into something and then they get in an argument. No, you have to do it like this. No, you have to do it like this. You have to do it like that, you know. So sometimes I was on the houseboat looking out and I see some people argue and shout and go on and almost physically fight each other, but I mean that didn't happen that often. So basically it was peaceful and quiet. So yeah, after about 2 months, then and we decided to put up a zinc roof instead of the thatch, because as I was explaining in the beginning, it is very, very labor and money intensive to have thatch. I much rather would have had thatch because it's so much prettier, and actually it keeps a place cool. Zinc, no, I mean everybody knows you have the sun beating on the zinc and underneath going to be hot, but as our place was very, very open. It did not really affect it so much. So I was kind of sad on one side because the old marina was much more rustic and much more natural. But just taking all the things and the climate and the environment into consideration, we could not do it that way again.
So you didn't put anything on the zinc then, it was just a zinc roof, right?
I was going to put thatch on the zinc and underneath to hide it, but then again, if you just put thatch on a zinc now, it will rot. It will make the zinc rotten.
Oh, you know, because the water settles. Yeah,
exactly. And so underneath would have been another option, but somehow we never got to it.
Okay.
Same thing, like we never rebuilt the upstairs part. It was in the plan, but then money ran out eventually, and we had to see that we finished the rest. And therefore we had a pretty big space to the to the sea, because we had some space left over for the upstairs to put up.
So she's talking about this.
Yeah, that's the new marina now.
So yeah, this is the zinc roof and stuff, and back there is the bar, and then you can just see the big open seating area. So some was under the zinc roof and the other part was just out in the open.
So that marina looked a bit different, but it was brand new. So we would have had at least another 20 years going with that easy, and planning to maybe build up more in time. So we opened the marina back and finally got our car. Everybody was happy, and oh, finally you're open again, we can come again, because as I was saying once already, that place was a haven of peace within the town. We were right in the middle of the town, the outside, towards the sea. Peace and quiet.
Yeah.
You walk through that gate, you walk a few steps, the whole town was
gone.
Like it never existed. So people were so happy that we finally opened back, and they took on to the marina very nicely, and we got boats coming back, so life got back to normal after that.
So did you have like a grand opening back?
Not really, no. We kind of...
You just opened.
We just basically open, and but we were surprised because everybody was happy that we were open again.
Okay.
So this is our story time for today. Not very long, but I try to make up for it next time.
Yes, guys. So this is just like the renovation of the whole marina. You know, things needed to be done. Based on what she was saying, we could have all fell through the floor.
Seriously, it was close.
We could have all fell through the floor, you know, started swimming, or I could have started swimming even earlier. But yeah, that is it for this story time. You know, some of them may be longer, some of them may be shorter. We can never predict it. We just know that she has her stuff to talk about. As we say, it's never really planned. She just tells it how it comes out. And therefore, this is a short one, but you know, wanna get spoiled whole heap of time. Wanna get spoiled whole heap of time. Y'all had an hour story long, 1 hour story time. Most of the times it's 40 something plus minutes, yeah. So wanna don't bash with, please. But that's just natural. Some of them are going to be long and some of them are going to be short. But anyways, I appreciate every single one of you. And for the people that gave me, or you know, all the happy birthday comments on the last story time, I've seen most of them. I'm still going through them. I'm still trying to respond to most of them. But if I don't get to yours, then just know that I'm really appreciative of it. You know, thank you so much. Y'all did your thing on that video. It's the most comments I think we received on a video, so thank you so much on that. And I will try to respond to every single one of y'all, but it might take a little time, yeah? So no worries, you're going to get your response, just not immediately. But thank you so much as usual for watching. Please remember to like, comment, and share. If you wanna subscribe, please subscribe to it. Yeah. And I will see you guys in our next video. Yeah, bye.